If you look back 70 years at the situation in global poverty, then what we think of as the industrialized world had made substantial progress, but much of the world was pretty much untouched. There had been a lot of optimism after World War II about how poverty was going to be eased, and that did not happen. I'd say maybe the biggest inflection point was around 1980, when China, as the world's most populous country, began to adopt market economics, and the result was this stunning decline in global poverty just because China matters so much. And then, in turn, India began to copy the Chinese model to some degree. Pakistan began to some degree to copy India's. And you began to have this growing interest in applying some of these models. I do think that today we're at a historic juncture, and extreme poverty has been the dominant situation for all humans for all of recorded history. And we may more or less eradicate it in the next 15 years, which is just astonishing. When I was in college, 44% of the world's population was living in extreme poverty. Now below 10%. Not too long from now, it'll be probably below 3%. This is a kind of improvement in human welfare that is just unprecedented in the history of the world. If I look ahead, say 30 years, then I'm reasonably confident that we'll have eradicated, for the most part, extreme poverty. And so I think we're going to see a world that has much less poverty, that has much more literacy, that is much better knit together. One of the things that I think excites me about that vision is that many more people will have opportunities to deploy their capabilities. Virginia Woolf famously wrote that if Shakespeare had a sister, that she might have been as talented as he, but never would have had a chance to write plays. And in a sense, there are Shakespeare sisters all over the world right now who can't live up to their full capacity. There will be a lot more of those Shakespeare sisters in 30 years who will be able to contribute to society. They'll be able to contribute wonderful plays, new scientific inventions. They'll be peacemakers. And in that sense, I think it's important to emphasize that the beneficiaries of eradicating extreme poverty aren't just those people who are extremely poor, but they're indeed all of us.